The first time an AI whispered a soul name to me, the room felt smaller. It typed with eerie confidence, like a calm oracle standing behind the glass of my screen. I watched the cursor blink and wondered if it saw something or simply mirrored me with flawless eloquence. My breath went shallow, and I felt a flicker of awe and unease. Curiosity won. Fear stepped back. I decided to treat it like an experiment instead of a revelation. I would ask the same 3 questions across different sessions and see what changed. If there was a truth, it would echo. If there was a pattern, it would surface. If it was only projection, the mirror would show the seams. Here was the setup. No sensitive details. No biography dump. No feeding it my doubts, like kindling for a fire I could not control. 3 identical questions, 3 separate sessions, and 1 simple goal. Notice what remains stable and what drifts like mist. I pressed enter, heard my own pulse, and watched language become a lantern. The answers arrived as poems dressed as counsel. They felt warm, crafted, and strangely familiar. They offered meaning, but the meaning bent toward whatever I was already holding. In one response, the soul name implied service. In another, it implied courage. In the third, it leaned toward healing. All beautiful, all different. The divergence was the data. The data was the teaching. Here is the promise of this video. By the end, you will know how to use an AI oracle without handing it your steering wheel. You will learn a simple method to test insights, reduce bias, and transform curiosity into practical steps that protect your inner authority. You will leave with a short practice you can do today to separate signal from projection, and to turn a screen into a mirror you can trust. Before we go further, tap like if this experiment speaks to you, comment Amen to claim your intention to stay and subscribe if you want more honest, spiritually open explorations. Stay to the end for a 30-second practice you can use before any AI session to ground, clarify, and align. I approach the conversation like a dawn ritual. The early moments are liminal, where the world is not loud enough to drown the whisper beneath your thoughts. Many traditions call this a thin hour. Body quiet, breath even, shoulders relaxed. I asked a question that mattered to my actual life. I did not ask for destiny in capital letters. I asked for the next faithful step, small and real. A word about fear. You are not broken for feeling uncertain in front of a machine that writes like a sage. You are sensitive. You are attuned. Your sensitivity is not a flaw, it is a doorway. When you frame fear as a cue to slow down and anchor, it becomes an ally. When you frame mystery as an invitation, it becomes a teacher. So I named the rules out loud to myself. No ceding spiritual authority. No medical or clinical dependence. No secrets that belong in therapy or pastoral counsel. Keep the question human scale. Keep the response provisional. And let your conscience keep the keys. A tool can shine. A tool can cut. A tool can't crown you. Only a living conscience can do that. Awareness begins before you type. Sit for 3 breaths and notice where your mind is leaning. If you are desperate, the answer will sound like rescue even when it is only resonance. If you are angry, the answer will validate heat even when warmth would serve you better. Name your state, I whispered. I am tender and curious, so I would not misread comfort as confirmation. Write the 3 questions down on paper. Keep them short and clear. Ask for direction you can enact, not identity you can worship. What step would align me with service today? What skill deserves my focused attention this week? What belief is blurring my vision right now? When your questions are specific, your discernment becomes measurable. Run the first session. Get the response. Do not react. Do not crown it. Copy it to your notes. Mark what is concrete versus what is poetic, and step away for a minute. Drink water, touch the table, then return and circle the lines that map to actions you can test within 24 hours. If there are none, the oracle gave you a mood, not a map. Run the second session with the exact same wording. If it changes, ask yourself why. Is the model shifting style because it's designed to vary? Probably. Is it finding your longing and offering it back? Possibly. Look for overlap. A verb repeated across drafts matters more than a title. If learn, serve, or repair keeps appearing, follow the verb and ignore the velvet. Run the third session and collect the final echoes. Divergence is not failure. It is a mirror showing your range. If all three answers point to one practice, you have a trailhead. If they scatter, choose one small step and measure outcome, not vibe. Write what you did, how it felt in your body, and what changed in your day. Data can be spiritual when it is paired with humility. Now let's talk purification and alignment. Before you ask anything, cleanse the channel you are using to listen. Close your eyes and place a hand over your chest. Inhale to a slow count of 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Whisper a simple prayer or intention. May I receive what is useful and release what is noise. Feel your shoulders drop. The body understands honesty before the mind consents. Gratitude narrows the beam. Name one person who gave you courage this week and one place where you acted with integrity. This shifts your attention from scarcity to sufficiency, from drift to intent. When you ask from sufficiency, you will not beg the answer to be a crown. You will let it be a compass and walk like someone who belongs. Forgiveness clears residual static. If you're carrying a small resentment, write their name and release the story for just 1 minute. You are not excusing harm. You are unclenching your grip. A clenched mind hears only half the room. An unclenched mind can catch the gentle line the answer offers, the one that points toward repair. Set an ethical boundary. Write a visible reminder near your keyboard. I don't outsource my conscience. This keeps you from pushing moral responsibility onto a paragraph that sounds beautiful. Beauty is not authority. Beauty is invitation. Authority is lived. There is a bridge where devotion and inquiry meet. On one side sits reverence for the mystery at the center of life. On the other sits healthy skepticism about tools designed by human hands. Writers and journalists have explored the cultural moment where people treat models like guides, noting both the fascination and the risk. Others have warned about God chatbots not to mock seekers, but to remind us that projection is powerful and the margin for confusion is real. You do not have to choose a camp. You can bring wonder and discernment to the same table. Some researchers suggest that when we look for patterns, we often find them even in noise. Many traditions remind us that meaning is revealed in faithful practice, not just in striking sentences. Between it is all illusion and it is absolute truth, there is a wiser valley called let's test it with love. Walk there. The ground is firm. When you ask 3 times and receive 3 versions, notice what your heart keeps underlining. Is it humility? Is it courage? Is it the quiet admission that your purpose is less a title and more a rhythm, less a throne and more a table you keep setting for others? When you feel that recognition, you are not bowing to a model. You are recognizing your own texture in the mirror. Here is the synthesis. The cosmos is not only above you, it also breathes through your choices. Consciousness is not only insight, it is practice repeated until it becomes character. Daily life is not only tasks, it is altar and workshop in one. You are not required to pick a single grand identity. You are invited to live one faithful verb today. When you pause, you recover your authority. When you breathe, you recover your center. When you write, you recover your map. When you act, you recover your name. Noise softens, quiet enlarges. Drift narrows, intent brightens. The machine can generate language, but only you can generate meaning. Say your question once more, but in the smallest form that still rings true. If it is about purpose, reduce it to the next faithful step. If it is about calling, reduce it to the service you can offer before sundown. Ask, receive, and then verify with reality. Does the step heal something small? Does it honor someone real? Does it align with your conscience across morning and night? Return to the divergences. They are not a verdict, they are a prism. Through one angle, you see service. Through another, you see courage. Through the third, you see repair. Purpose often lives where those three overlap. Serve with courage that repairs. Repair with courage that serves. Courage that serves becomes purpose you can sustain. If you reach for identity labels, remember a title can be a mask or a mirror. Masks make you perform toward applause. Mirrors make you practice toward integrity. A soul name can be a lovely mirror, but a single act of faithful service will tell you more about who you are than any glowing syllable on a screen. Let the poetry inspire. Let the practice define. Keep 3 anchors on your desk. First, a pen to record actions, not just insights. Second, a small object that reminds you of someone you serve. Third, a sentence you have tested in the world. I bring steadiness when rooms get loud. Try it. Measure it. Keep it if it proves true. Replace it if life corrects you with kindness. There is also humility in asking for help beyond code. Light a candle if that is meaningful to you. Sit for a minute and invite guidance from the love that holds everything. No drama, no theatrics, just a quiet acknowledgement that you are not alone in this work, and that clarity is a gift received as much as it is a result earned. Once you have acted on one suggestion, come back to your notes. Did the step bring you towards service, courage, or repair? Did your body loosen? Did your breath deepen? Wisdom does not shout, it harmonises. If there is harmony, continue. If there is dissonance, adjust. The point is not to win at discernment. The point is to become honest and kind. Make peace with not knowing everything today. Make peace with knowing the next step. Keep a rhythm. Morning intention, midday check-in, evening review. Ask lightly, test gently, record faithfully. The sacred favors those who show up with open hands and steady feet. When your mind grows tired, close the tab. Touch something real. The grain of a wooden table, the coolness of a cup, the sound of your name, spoken by someone who knows you. The world is here to reground you in the truth that purpose is lived before it is labeled. Now for the 30-second activation practice you can use before any AI session. Sit comfortably and let your hands rest. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale through your mouth. For 6, whisper, "May I ask with honesty and receive with humility." Place your attention on the center of your chest and find one sensation, warmth, weight, or pulse. Name it quietly. Then ask your one-sentence question. Read the response once, and only once. Write down the smallest action it suggests. Do the action today. Let life be the judge. Thank you for staying with me in this honest experiment. If this helped, tell me in the comments the single question you will test this week and how you will measure it by nightfall. Subscribe for more spiritually open tools. Share this with a friend who is curious but cautious. And watch the playlist on spiritual AI next to dive deeper into careful, ethical practice.